Well, on our hotline right now, we have a gentleman called Irwin Schiff, has the book out, The Federal Mafia. He says you don't have to pay income tax. No. That's what Irwin said. Irwin, you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Everything. We got disconnected there.
We got disconnected, right.
I got a little nervous. So hold on, Irwin. Let's take a...
Oh.
AM 1100, Joe, you got a question for Irwin?
Oh, yes, I do. This is the first-time caller, by the way, Mike. I was wondering if you can get in trouble for not filing taxes even though you had a return coming?
Well, the thing is this. There is no law requiring you to file or pay income taxes. But the problem is you have corrupt judges. And the judges have been illegally prosecuting people for income tax violation when there's no law or no penalties for not filing. There is no such penalty as income tax evasion. If you look into Title 18, which is the U.S. Criminal Code, there is no mention of income tax. However, so to prevent being illegally prosecuted, I suggest that people file a zero income return. It only takes you 5 minutes to do it. You show zero gross income, zero deductions, and a zero tax. And if you paid any taxes, you attach it. You attach the forms on which you made payment. You ask for your money back. And if the government doesn't give you your money back in 6 months, you can sue them in district court. But to answer your question, again, there is no...
Has anybody ever won suing the government?
Well, we're going to institute a number of... Well, this was new with me this year. So we're going to institute a number of lawsuits right here in Las Vegas. But a lot of people have gotten their money back, so they don't have to sue. I got a lot of photocopies of checks. As a matter of fact, last week, yesterday, what am I talking about? A man sent me a check. He got back $4,270 from the federal government. And the state of California claimed he owed about $9,000 in California income tax. After he filed a zero return, he got back the state.
Yeah, you got to pay state tax and city tax?
No, you don't have to pay state taxes either because, you see, the state...
How about city?
Well, if it's an income tax, you don't have to file. You don't have to pay it. Let me tell you why. Most cities and states can tax wages. I can explain why. But the federal government cannot tax what we call sources of income. The federal government can't really tax wages, dividends. So the cities can, because the reason why the federal government can't do it is the apportionment provisions of the Constitution. But the apportionment provisions of the Constitution, I can explain what those mean in a minute. But anyway, what your states do, your states piggyback. They piggyback their income tax on the federal, and they use the same definition. They say, instead of the states writing regulation as to what is taxable under their law, they simply say you owe us 5 or 6% of what you show and what you owe the federal government. Now, by preparing a zero income tax return the way we show you, when you go to file your state, for instance, most states say the first line is show on your state tax return what you reported as adjusted gross income on your federal. Now, if you file a zero federal, you have to start your state tax with a zero. There's nothing else you can put there. So many people, and I got copies of checks from various states where people have gotten back the taxes that they paid to the states. I don't know if you got a copy, whether my secretary sent you.
How many people do you know that have tried this and went to jail?
Well, no one who's...
No one's ever went to jail.
No. You can't go to jail for doing this because, number one...
You got any more questions, Joe?
One big question.
Yes.
I'm not going to be penalized at all.
No. Let me say this. Nobody should do this. Nobody should do this because they hear me talk about it. All of this is explained in my book, The Federal Mafia, How the Government Illegally Collects Income Taxes. The book is only $25.
Hey, Joe?
Yes.
I would talk to a lawyer or somebody before
No, lawyers know absolutely nothing. If lawyers knew anything, nobody would be paying income tax. I'll tell you what you want to do, Joe.
All right.
You call...
You're going to put this poor guy in jail.
No. You call up any tax lawyer you want. You call up the U.S. Attorney's Office and ask them to send to you any statute that says you have to pay income taxes. If they do, I will pay you $5,000. I'll pay anybody listening to this program $5,000 if they can produce any law that says anyone has to pay income taxes. Now, I can produce all kinds...
Of course, if you don't pay income tax, you lose all your benefits.
No, what benefits?
Your Social Security.
No. Wait a minute. First of all, you're going to lose your Social Security benefits anyways. If you're under 60, your Social Security is not going to be around for 4 or 5 more years. It's going to collapse.
What if you're, well, then that would mean if you're under 56.
Well, the point is this. No, if you stop paying income taxes, you'll still get whatever Social Security benefits you've paid for up until now. And as a matter of fact, Social Security isn't worth the money you pay.
AM 1100, you have a question for Irwin Schiff.
Hi, Mike. I've attended your seminars, Irwin, and I've got several of your books.
Did you pay to go to these seminars?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Just wondering. How much was it?
I don't remember. It was about 3 years ago.
How much was it, Irwin?
It was $15 at the time. Now I'm up to 25. I charge $25.
$25 to
Well,
I'll
tell you what, Mike. The problem is, you see, like your weather girl, she's afraid, and you make a big joke of it. This is serious stuff.
This is serious.
These people in the IRS are ruthless thugs.
They're thugs.
And they have no authority.
I've been telling you that for years.
Right. Listen to this. Irwin hasn't mentioned it. I'm into the constitutionality of it.
Of the what?
Constitutionality of the taxes. There is no. You're not a taxpayer. You're not even in the tax code. A 1040 form is a Virgin Islands tax form. Okay, when you fill that out,
What do you mean a Virgin Island?
You're telling them you live in the Virgin Islands.
You're telling who?
The government. So you have to live in the United States to be a United States taxpayer. You live in the Republic of Ohio, so that you're not a United States taxpayer.
Where's the United States then?
The United States is Guam, Samoa, Virgin Islands, the Marianas, Puerto Rico, and 10 square miles of Washington, D.C., marked by a stone pyramid on each corner. That is the United States.
Aha, I see.
You don't live in the United States, and you are not a government employee paid wages.
Don't ever say that to me again. I bleed red, white, and blue.
Yeah, so do I. We're Americans.
Well,
We're Americans, American nationals.
But I don't live in the United States.
That's right.
I've got to remember this. I learned something. I'll be a son of a gun. In my 40s, I finally learned I do not live in the United States.
Hey, Mike.
Where do I live?
Mike, I was 53 before I learned all this crap, so listen.
Irwin, do you live in the United States?
Yes, I do.
No, he doesn't.
No, you don't.
He lives in the Republic of Nevada.
Let me just say this.
No.
I don't. There's a lot of misconceptions, unfortunately, that circulate.
Now, wait a minute.
Tax movement.
Irwin. The guy you're talking to, his name's Larry, right, Larry?
Right.
Irwin, are you calling Larry stupid?
No, I'm not calling him stupid. I just think he's uninformed on these issues.
You're calling him stupid, Larry. Irwin.
I'm not calling him stupid.
Come on, Irwin.
Mike,
take a stand here. You're calling the man a dummy.
No,
Mike, no, we're not a dummy. We just approach it from a different
angle. Let me just tell you something.
The man paid $15 to go to your seminar, and you're calling the guy a dummy.
No, let me just tell you something. In the Constitution of the state of Nevada, for instance, why it says it. It says right off the bat that you're an American citizen. Also, when I travel, I got a passport.
An American, but not a U.S.
You see, I think it's immaterial.
And no, it isn't. No, it's the whole crux of everything.
Shut up, Irwin. You learn something here.
If you are a U.S. citizen,
yeah, so what about?
You have to. They got you 3 times, just like St. Peter denied Christ.
What do you mean they got me 3 times? I'm a virgin.
You got a Social Security card that says you're a U.S. citizen.
Right.
You got a driver's license. When you go to get a driver's license, the first question they ask you:
don't forget my draft
card. Are you a
U.S.
citizen? And you say yes.
Yeah.
Then you go to vote. It says right there you got to be a U.S. citizen.
How about my draft card?
Mike, will you let me ask this man one question?
Go ahead, Irwin.
Listen, what's your first name? What's your name?
Larry. The guy went to your seminar. You don't even know his name.
Larry, wait a minute. Are you suggesting that somewhere in the Internal Revenue Code there's a provision that somebody has to pay income taxes?
It's in the Internal Revenue Code, as written.
Yes. You say there's a provision in the code? You say there's a provision in the code that somebody is required to pay income taxes?
Employees of the United States
Read me.
government.
I have the code right here, Larry. I'll give you $5,000.
I have the code, too. I bought it from you.
Okay.
I'll be a son of a gun.
Wait a minute. This is proof.
Wait a minute.
Proof.
Hold it. Wait a minute.
I sell the Internal Revenue
Time
Code.
out.
Mike, let me just ask Larry a question, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Larry, assuming you're right for a moment, what impact does all of that have on the payment of income tax?
Well, you see, you're telling people to file a zero return, okay? I attended your seminars. I own your books. I attended Lynn Meredith's seminars. I own her books.
Yeah.
I filed my zero tax returns. They're frivolous returns.
No, they're not.
I am fined. They've got a $4,000 lien on my house. Okay. Now, let me finish.
What does he do now?
No, I'll tell you. First of all, you see, they can't call it frivolous. We have a 4.5-page reply. If they threaten to hit us with a frivolous penalty, we send a letter, and nobody who has sent this letter has ever been hit with a penalty.
Would it come from? Wait a minute. That letter come from John Gotti?
No. On top of it, Larry, no IRS agent has the authority to impose the penalty. You don't know that.
Well, I know that.
They put a lock on your door.
And
but once they send
you repossess your car.
They send this unsigned paperwork against their own Section 6065, which says it must be signed under penalties of perjury. Once they send this paper to a bank or to a title company or to a county recorder, and it's not a lien, it's a notice of lien.
The point is not.
Wait a minute. Ralph, are you there?
Yes, sir.
What did you want to say to Irwin and Larry?
We're talking about where do we live, and I have the tax code definition of the United States and also of employee with respect to voluntary withholding at the source.
Well, go ahead. Irwin will be interested in this, so will Larry.
Okay. Anyways, you recorded. I'd like to hear it. I'm in a quandary trying to rush back and forth to hear it on the show.
Okay.
Section 7701.
7701. Are you familiar with this?
Well, I've just started reading this too. And
Irwin, are you familiar with 7701?
I'll look it up. I have the code in front of me.
Take a look at it. I believe you'll find it at item 9 is United States. The term United States, when used in a geographical sense, includes only the states and the District of Columbia.
You want to stop right there for a minute?
Yes,
you see, all of this...
Larry.
No. They consider Guam, Samoa, Virgin Islands, Marianas the state.
You see, Mike, you see, all of this is a waste of time. I'll tell you why.
Right.
The word income means a corporate profit.
I agree with that, by the way.
Wait a minute. Let me finish. rather than try to define where in the code states are defined, why don't you find in the code where it says you have to pay an income tax?
Okay,
why don't you find?
I told you that once before, and you wouldn't believe me.
Well, what code section?
Okay, it's in the section on wages.
Well, wait a minute. Time out. Ralph.
Sorry about that.
Ralph.
This is so fun.
Yeah, I know. Irwin.
Yeah.
Shut up and let him. Now he's going to tell you.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Okay.
What code section? I'm going to turn to it.
See, right away you start talking, Irwin.
What section is he reading
from? Okay.
He's reading from section 7701.
Okay. 7701 is the section on
yes.
United States.
Irwin, tell him the only section that...
Who's this?
This is Larry, and Irwin will tell you that the only section that pertains to anybody is Section 1. 70, 60, they don't even pertain to us.
That's right. That's
Ralph. I agree with that, too. I'm just telling you these are the definitions.
Well, wait a minute. What do you mean you agree with that, Ralph?
It has the Internal Revenue Code has nothing to do with most natives of the United States of America.
You mean the black people?
No, you and I.
Oh.
The Italians. If you were born in Ohio, you're a native of the Ohio Republic.
Well, you said natives right away. I thought
some gentleman said that before.
Yeah.
Now, look. No, first of all, you see, here's the kind of...
They're smoke up here to confuse you. All you got to do to go is look at voluntary withholding at the source, and you can see that it's only respect to elected officials.
I wish I could see. I really do.
Yeah. Only government employees pay a tax. They're paid wages.
Yeah, that's in Section 3401. Right. It's on page 429.
Larry.
Yes.
Larry, they got a lien on your house. They're taking your car. They're going after your
They're
going after your
they
dog.
have a notice of lien on my house.
And you still want to say we don't have to pay taxes.
You do not.
All right, okay.
Yeah, the Ohio State Attorney General can confirm that for you.
I'll tell you what, Mike.
Get the Ohio State Attorney General on the
get
phone.
on.
Hey, Mike.
What's her name? It was her, wasn't it?
Mike.
Well, I don't know. I was talking to Joel.
Betty Montgomery. Get her.
She's a lawyer.
Call her up, Jerry.
She's a lawyer, Mike.
Well, what does that got to do with anything?
Because they sworn a secret oath to uphold the bankruptcy on you.
I would agree with that,
The bankruptcy? What, did someone know something I don't know? I ain't going bankrupt.
You're in involuntary bankruptcy.
Yeah. Involuntary bankruptcy?
You have no gold or silver. You can't buy nothing.
Wait
you don't own your house. You don't own your car.
Time out for a minute. You're telling me I'm bankrupt. You're telling me I don't live in the United States.
Right.
You trying to make me commit suicide
No,
tonight or what?
I'm trying to tell you the truth so you'll wake up and all your audience will wake up and they'll know who the hell they are.
Mike,
you cannot own a car.
Hey,
you
wait a
cannot
minute.
own a house.
My wife,
can I say something
too complicated, though.
Is everything all right? My wife's not cheating on me or anything, is she?
I don't know about that.
Please. I mean, that's all I need to hear now. I'm bankrupt. I don't live in the United States, and my wife is cheating on me.
Mike,
the bumper.
Mike,
Yeah.
Mike, can I stop? Because
Who is this?
what you're getting is this
Who
is
is Irwin?
Yeah, because what these people are talking about have absolutely nothing to do with whether or not you have to pay income taxes. And the reason why Larry has liens on his house is he doesn't know enough to prevent them from. Let me just read you something.
You're calling Larry dumb again.
Well, no, he's chasing his tail.
See,
That's
you're
the
back
problem.
Stop to breathe for a minute.
Back to
Let me
chasing the tail.
give you an example.
Go
Let me
ahead.
give you an example.
All right.
You'll be interested in this, Mike.
I know, but I've been interested in a lot of this.
Listen, Section 4401 of the Internal Revenue Code
Now
has
we're
to do with
44.
bookmakers.
What happened to bookmakers? See,
Yeah.
I knew you'd bring this back to the Italians.
Listen.
I knew it.
Listen, bookmakers, whether you know it or not, that if a person is a bookmaker, he has to pay the federal government 0.5% of his gross wages. And let me read what the
Not
law
in Cleveland,
says.
you don't.
Let me read what the law says.
In New York,
Each
maybe.
person, listen to this.
Wow.
Each person who is engaged in the business of accepting wagers shall be liable for and shall pay the tax under this subchapter on all wagers placed with him. So,
Wait a minute. Time out for a minute. I'm really getting a headache here, okay? Hold on. Ralph, Larry, and Irwin, hold on for 1 second. All right?
Okay.
All right. Let me count to 3. All right. Now, for some ungodly reason, and I don't know how this happened, okay? We went from not paying income tax to not living in the United States to Section 7701 to bookmakers.
Well, that was
how in the hell did we get on bookmakers?
I didn't bring it up. I would just go by definition because
Mike,
I thought that's interesting.
Let me tell you why we got to bookmakers. Because it does. If you live in the United States,
Yes.
if you live in, it
Well, I
doesn't make
don't live in the United States, right, Larry?
Larry doesn't.
Yeah,
Look, let me clarify,
States of America.
because listen, you want to educate your listeners, you want to confuse them.
I want to educate my damn self first.
Okay, now
there.
listen. The code says, and it doesn't make any difference where you live. The code says if you're a bookmaker, you better pay the tax.
You
because
better, baby.
You see, Larry has his
I didn't say anything about income.
Larry.
I didn't say anything about income. I don't have any.
Larry,
you notice.
Irwin, Larry,
Yes.
Larry.
Yes.
Did you do something to Irwin? He's always picking on you.
No, he's coming it from a different angle.
No
Mike.
kidding.
We're both coming from different angles.
No kidding. Well, on our hotline right now, we have a gentleman called Irwin Schiff, has the book out, The Federal Mafia. He says you don't have to pay income tax. No.
No, hey, Mike, this is the situation.
Okay.
Okay. I know what Irwin's saying.
You do. I'm glad somebody does.
I understand completely.
Yes.
However, I've gone.
You got a lien on your house.
Yes, I do, but they
but-
didn't put it on lawfully. It's not a lawful lien, and it's not a lien. It's a notice of lien. They haven't got the authority to lien anything.
The government doesn't.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely.
Do you know a federal attorney is not even allowed to practice in tax court?
Because we don't live in the United States, right?
You see, if you live in the United States, in the territories as described in the Constitution, you are. They give you.
Sure.
See, I don't know what Irwin knows about your individual master file, Mike, but you have one.
I do?
Yes. And you can get it
all
through the
Italians have a master file with the FBI.
Right.
Trust
and
me.
you can get it through the Truth and Information Act from the IRS, and they'll send it to you, and it'll tell you.
Isn't that an oxymoron, truth and information and IRS in the same sentence?
Right.
Hey, Ralph, how we doing, Ralph?
They're getting a little frantic on you, and they are complicating the issue.
Sure, tell them,
You're
Ralph.
not getting any information from it.
Will you please give some information out?
Okay, they got to remain quiet for just a minute.
All right,
go ahead.
Okay,
go ahead.
He challenged me to say what individual has to pay an income tax. Well, he's right that this is only applicable to elected officials of the United States. And the United States means, of course, the district.
Will you stop? Hey, Mike.
Here we go.
Okay.
Hey, Mike.
Anyway,
Irwin, wait a minute. Let him talk.
Look at Section 31-3401A.
What happened to 7701?
That's some other definitions. It's all over. I mean, they've made it so confusing that correct.
It's like dog crap. It's everywhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, if you look at the section on wages, because most people are just dealing with wages.
All right, wages.
Okay, 31.3401, 31.3401A-2 and -3.
Wait a minute, say that again?
31.3401A-2.
31 point what?
31.3401A-2 and -3.
-2 and -3. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. In there is the generic example for the A employed by B, which it states it's voluntary, and it's in there also is the A employed by C in a business owned by him A. I mean, he's perfectly correct. It's just owners of corporations and elected officials. But it's even more complicated than that.
How's that, Irwin?
Well, first of all, you invited me on the show, Mike. Just to stop, because I'm going to be leaving. Because you invited me on the show because I happen to know what I'm talking about. I've written 4 books over 4. Now, you're having people on, Larry and Ralph. Ralph doesn't know what he's talking about, so I don't know why you bothered to have me on.
I'll get rid of Ralph. Okay, that's good. And I'll get rid of Larry. Okay, it's all yours.
Let me tell you why neither of these people.
I'll go have a cigarette. Go ahead, do 20 minutes.
Let me tell you.
Go ahead.
Let me tell you why Ralph doesn't know what he's talking about.
Right.
If you take a 1040 booklet, okay, the government is supposed to tell you in the Privacy Act what statutes require you to pay, or anything. Now, the only statutes mentioned in the 1040 booklet are sections 6001, 6011, and 6012. It's on page 9. Okay. Now, on page 9, the government tells you the only sections that are relevant. Now, if you owe an income tax, you don't have to do all the research. You don't have to get into this stuff like Larry does and like Ralph does. What you do is you go to the Internal Revenue Code. You look up in the Internal Revenue, in the index, there's the word income tax. You look in the index and you see if there's any provision for paying income tax be liable. And there's no provision. So it's not as complicated as Larry. Larry has his tail in his mouth and doesn't know it, and Ralph doesn't know what he's talking about because it's not that complicated. If you owe an income tax, there has to be a provision in the Internal Revenue Code, just like I just read for bookmakers, just like there is for tobacco manufacturers. In the code, it provides for every tax, there's a provision for the payment of the tax. Now, if you're required to pay the tax, let Ralph read the section that says Americans are required to pay income tax. Let Larry read from I'll give each of them $5,000, and that's the issue. The issue is not where you're born. And first of all, let me point out something else. The word income for tax purposes means a corporate profit. Let me give you an example. From time to time, it gets reported in the paper that various American corporations pay no income taxes. Okay? And 1 year General Dynamics had like $3 billion, paid no income tax. 1 year GE had $1 billion, paid no income tax. You know why they didn't pay any income tax?
They didn't make any money.
No, they didn't have a profit.
Oh, yeah.
Now, they can have, an American corporation can have as much income as it has, as it wants. It can have billions. If it doesn't have a profit, it pays no tax. It doesn't pay a tax on its income. It only pays a tax on its profit.
Now you're starting to, now I understand. That's a little better. I like this.
So, yeah, but because you had these people on who don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to educate your audience, you let me explain it, and you won't have people on who don't know what they're talking about.
In other words, I don't make a profit until all my bills are paid.
No, exactly right. Let me point out something else. To you. Now, incidentally,
I understand that.
Now, let me tell you something. In the code, in Section 61, it doesn't have 2 definitions for income. It doesn't have a definition for corporations or for individuals. Now, if a corporation doesn't pay tax unless it has a profit, then you don't have to pay tax unless you have a profit.
Now you're making sense, Irwin.
Well, you didn't give me a chance to talk.
Took you an hour and a half.
No. Now, listen, let me point out something else again.
Wait a minute. Our sports director, he makes a lot of money, wants to talk to you. Mike Snyder's our sports director. He's getting ready to do a sports update here. Michael, do you make a profit?
Do I make a profit?
Do you understand where he's coming from now?
If you really show no profit...
Well, why? Here. Here's what Irwin's saying, okay?
If I'm just meeting my expenses and so forth...
A company does not pay taxes until they show a profit, okay? Why, as individuals, should we pay taxes on our income unless we show a profit? In other words, you get a check, let's say, for $1,000 a week, okay?
Right.
We're just throwing out numbers, okay?
1,000 a week.
That's way low for you. You get a check for $1,000 a week, okay? All right. Now, let's say that your house payment is $250 a week, $1,000 a month. Okay. Then you take your utilities, your groceries, your insurances,
car payment,
blah 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 blah. And let's say that it comes to $950.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got $50 left over.
Right.
We should be taxed on that $50, right, Irwin?
Exactly right.
I'll be a son of a gun.
We got it.
I got it.
You got it. You got it.
I can't believe
you got it.
Wait a minute.
Don't tell me
Mike,
there's more.
Mike, it's even worse than that. Let me give you an example. Let me give you an example.
All right.
Every week, we'll say the radio station pays you they pay you, we'll call it money, right?
Money.
Every week.
I hope we call it money.
Okay, so every week, wait a minute, follow this. You're on the right track, Mike. Very good.
Okay.
Now, follow this. Every week, the radio station gives you money. Is that right?
Money, yes.
Okay.
Every 2 weeks.
Now, let me ask you something.
Every 2 weeks.
Are you worth what they pay you?
Every 2 weeks.
Oh, every 2 weeks.
Does that matter?
Are you worth what they pay you?
Am I worth what they pay me?
Yeah.
I'm so underpaid it's sickening. I'm number one in afternoon drive.
Okay, wait a minute. That means your labor is worth more than the money they give you. Is that right?
That's 100% right.
Well, of course, if it wasn't, they wouldn't hire you. Okay, so follow me here. So every week you give the radio station your labor,
right?
And that labor is worth more than the money they give you. Is that right?
Get my boss in here. Yes.
Okay, now wait a minute.
Wow.
Wait a minute. Just follow me. So every week you've been paying a tax on what the radio station gives you. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, now you give the radio station your labor.
Right.
That labor is worth more than what they give you.
Right.
Has the radio station been paying a tax on the value of your labor? In other words, do they take their gross receipts and then add into it the value of your labor that you gave them in exchange for the money?
No.
In other words, does the radio station pay a tax on what you gave the radio station?
No.
So if the radio station doesn't pay a tax on what you give them, why should you pay a tax on what they give you?
I don't know. I'm ready to revolt.
In other words, what you're doing here is you're exchanging your labor for money. If you gave the radio station a sewing machine and they gave you a radio of equal value, do you have any taxable income? The answer is no. Don't you understand? If you pay a tax on your labor, it's a property tax. And the word income as used in the income tax has been defined as a gain or a profit, and you don't profit on your labor, you merely exchange your labor for a like amount, for a more liquid asset.
I'll do it, Irwin. I swear I'll do it.
Call me tomorrow.
All right, I will. Love you, Irwin.